So get ready, because today we are really diving deep into something kind of fascinating. It's like a roadmap, but for life, right? Overflowing with freedom, overflowing with joy, and get this, maybe even a sprinkle of magic, who knows? We've got this course outline, and skimming through it, I gotta say, my brain is buzzing with questions already.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff, isn't it? What they're doing is they're laying out this framework for self-discovery and transformation. And the core of it all is, get this, tapping into what they call, are you ready for this? The intelligent space.
The intelligent space. Okay, now we're talking, that could be the title of a philosophy book, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe like a guide to unlocking some hidden potential. Like, what is that all about?
So if you're looking at this outline, right, the intelligent space, it's described as this infinite source of, get this, love and consciousness. And here's the kicker. It's like the foundation, the ground zero from which everything we experience, like actually everything, emerges.
Whoa. Okay, so we are talking about a pretty big idea here, huh? I mean, this feels almost spiritual, but how do we actually connect with it? How do we connect with the intelligent space?
And this is where it gets really, really interesting. Because it's not just about, like, sitting around and contemplating these concepts, like, intellectually, right? This
Right.
course is all about connecting with the intelligent space through our senses. Sight, sound, even touch. Like, it's a way to actually access this deeper reality.
In a world obsessed with screens,
Right.
right? With this constant mental chatter, this idea of using our senses to tap into something more, something deeper, it's almost radical, don't you think?
Absolutely. And you know what? It leads us to another really important piece of this puzzle, this idea that you are not your story, which is kind of huge when you think about it, right?
Oh man, that one hits home, doesn't it? It's so easy to get like completely trapped in the echo chamber of our own narratives, always replaying those old tapes of like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never be able to.
Exactly. But see, this course, it's saying there's a different part of us, a more fundamental part, our presence. And this presence, it exists within, you guessed it, the intelligent space.
So it's like, okay, if we're not our stories, then this presence, it's like our true essence. It's the real us hiding, like way down there, beneath all that mental noise and all those pesky limiting beliefs.
You got it. And by tapping into that presence, that's how that outline is saying we can, like, actually tap into a more authentic and joyful way of being. One that's not bogged down by all those limitations and all those stories we keep telling ourselves. It's about getting to that deeper wellspring of peace and potential. And here's the thing, it already exists within us.
Oh, that is empowering, man. And speaking of limitations, this outline takes like a really interesting turn when it introduces, are you ready for this, internal functions.
Yeah. The internal functions, right? This is where it gets interesting. They describe them as, think of them like automatic mechanisms inside of us. These mechanisms, they influence how we think, feel, and act. It's almost like internal bots, you know what I mean? They're just running in the background.
Internal bots. Okay, I love that analogy. So tell me more. Tell me more. What are these bots all about?
So picture this, right? Each bot has like a specific job. You might have that, that worry bot that's always scanning for danger, always on the lookout. Or maybe you've got that people-pleasing bot, right? The one that's just trying to keep everybody, and I mean everybody, happy, even if it means, sacrificing your own needs.
Okay, so these bots, they're not necessarily like bad, are they? It's like they're just trying to help us navigate the world, but based on like our past experiences, our conditioning, that whole thing, right?
Exactly. They're like, think of them like programs, and they're just running in the background. They're just trying to protect us, trying to keep those familiar patterns going, keeping us safe. But here's the thing. Sometimes, like any outdated software, they can actually create more problems than they solve. They keep us stuck in those loops of fear, self-doubt, you name it, all those limiting beliefs.
So how do we break free? Because just knowing about them, that's not going to magically rewire our brains.
That's
There's
tough.
got to be more to it.
You're telling me, and that right there is where the magic of this course really kicks in, because they're giving you the tools, they're giving you techniques to not just recognize these bots, but to actually engage with them in what they call, wait for it, conversation with functions.
Hold on, stop, rewind. Conversation with functions. Like, are we seriously talking about sitting down for a nice chat with my inner worry wart? Or maybe we're going to try and negotiate with our procrastination bot? Is that what we're doing?
You know what? In a way, yeah, that's exactly it. It's all about awareness. Awareness of these internal functions we're talking. Understanding where they came from, like their origin story. And even, get this, potentially rewriting their code,
Okay, see, now that is next level personal growth.
Yeah.
We're not just like observing the patterns anymore. We're getting in there. We're learning to shift them
Right.
at their core.
Exactly. And here's the best part. This course is suggesting that by tapping into that presence, that deeper part of ourselves, the authentic us, we can choose. We can actually choose how we think, how we feel, how we act, instead of just like being run by these programs, you know?
It's like we're taking the wheel, man. Finally, we're steering our own lives. No more just being a passenger going wherever the road takes us.
Yeah.
But this sounds, I don't know, it sounds like a lot. Does this course outline get into the practical stuff at all? Applying all this to everyday life?
Oh, absolutely. And that's when things get like super exciting because there's a whole section in here on transformation time. It's not just intellectual, like heady concepts, but like how to actually integrate it into your life.
So it's about creating real change.
Yeah.
Right. Tangible change.
Yeah.
Not just feeling good in theory, but actually making our lives better.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bridging the gap from like theory to like doing the thing. You use these tools and you create a life that just feels, I don't know, more aligned with who you really are, your aspirations, all that good stuff. So imagine you're holding on to a limiting belief. Let's say, I'm not good enough, right? Classic. And you can trace it back, like you follow the breadcrumbs to the source, the internal function that's like driving the thing.
Okay. Yeah, that would be like pretty incredible, wouldn't it? To see that not good enough bot
Yeah.
for what it is, just an old program, running in the background, not the truth.
Boom, exactly. And then you've got the tools, right? You can update the programming. You're not suppressing it. No, you're responding to it, but from this place of awareness, of compassion.
Wow, that is powerful stuff. So this course actually provides a way to do that.
That's what they're saying, yeah. It's all about taking back your power. You're choosing, consciously choosing, the thoughts, feelings, actions that line up with the life you want. And here's the thing, it's not just about you, not just individual growth. This approach, it can impact your relationships, your work, everything. It's like a ripple effect.
You know how they say when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. But this is more than that, right? This is like going deeper, understanding how our minds actually work, the mechanisms behind the scenes.
Exactly. And that is what can lead to those big shifts in how you experience like everything. The world, how you interact with people, everything.
Now this might sound a little woo-woo to some people, but the outline mentions, get this, tapping into a more, are you ready for this, a more magical way of experiencing life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I have to ask, what does that even mean? Are we talking like levitating objects here, talking to unicorns? What's going on?
Not quite. I don't think we'll be levitating anytime soon. But it's not about, like magic tricks. It's more about approaching life with a sense of wonder, possibility, joy.
So less about pulling rabbits out of hats, more about finding the magic in the everyday moments.
You got it. Think about it when we're stuck with, those limiting beliefs and all that negative stuff. It's like we're seeing the world through this, like a gray filter. But this approach, this whole presence thing and understanding our internal functions, it's like we're slowly taking off that filter. And suddenly we can experience life in all its vibrancy and beauty. It's kind of cool.
Okay, I can get behind that analogy. But shifting our perspective, right? Opening ourselves up to the magic that's already there.
Exactly. And there's this big emphasis in the outline on cultivating a sense of love, which is like a key ingredient in all of this.
Hold on. We're not just talking about like romantic love here, are we?
Not just romantic love, no. It's way bigger than that. It's about this deep wellspring of love and compassion that's inside each of us. It's learning to see ourselves in the world through a lens of love, which is honestly kind of a game changer.
It's like we're always searching for love and fulfillment somewhere outside ourselves. But this course is saying, hey, it's been within us all along.
Right. It's about coming home to ourselves, to that wholeness, that love that's always been there.
Wow. So we've gone from the intelligent space to these internal bots to cultivating self-compassion and finding more magic in life. This course outline is a lot to process.
It's a journey for sure. But what really stands out to me is the hope, the possibility that just jumps out of this outline. It reminds us that we are not our past. We are not our limitations. We're not even limited by our own minds. We can create lives that are aligned with our true selves. Lives full of purpose, joy, and yeah, maybe even a little magic.
It's pretty inspiring, I gotta say. And just imagine if this course helps someone unlock even a little bit of that potential. Think of the impact it could have on their life and the world.
The possibilities are endless, right? And that's what's so great about these deep dives. They leave us with more questions than answers, but also this renewed sense of curiosity and wonder. Maybe even a touch of magic, who knows?
It definitely makes you want to like grab a journal, do some reflecting, maybe meditate and really sit with these ideas. And hey, you never know. Maybe that spark of curiosity, that's all it takes to start your own journey of self-discovery.
Maybe the real treasure was inside us all along.
Right. Well said. And as always, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep asking questions, keep diving deeper into the mysteries of life and yourselves. Until next time.